Today on the Stage Presence Mastery series, we're breaking down moments from Chappell Roan's live performances to see what we can learn as performers ourselves. So sub, if you're a performer, she must be doing something right. So let's figure it out. Here we go.
Thank you. And it is very hard. I took 2 months of cardio vocal training every day running the set while jump roping or hit workout, But I literally don't feel like I'm gonna throw up anymore when I sing and run.
Doesn't want to puke on stage anymore. That's good. You know what this is called? This is called raise your cardio, don't lower your standard. And most people are running out of breath in their performances, so they say, I'll do less so that I don't run out of breath, rather than I'll raise my cardio and do some work so that I can match the standard that I want, and then I can impress my audience in the way that I want. People avoid this because of the work involved, 2 months on a treadmill. But just because you're not performing for 80,000 people doesn't mean that you shouldn't want to be at this standard for yourself and your own soul feeding, because it's fun to be awesome like that on stage and in shape. And it's awesome for the audience at any level. Look at that. Let's see that again. Talking about pro instrumentalists. Look at this. Look at this. That's song 1, note 1 of a festival show. Look at this drummer. This is Lucy Ritter. Look at the face on this drummer right off the bat. How do you do that? Well, there's experience and there's the pre-show ritual. How do you get your energy to this level before you go on stage? That's 20 minutes of jumping jacks or running around the building or squats or something like that. Be an interesting question for them. Look at this face. That's the output of energy that you really want. It doesn't even matter what your genre is, if you're sad music, if you're this, if you're that. It's still, what is your version of this? And can you reach this? Song 1, note 1. You know, the first action of your performance. Look at that for pro level. So look at this, right? Stage presence. What is that? It's being unpredictable and interesting. That's how you create this thing. That's how people nudge each other in the audience and go, look at this. Because you keep showing them interesting and unpredictable things. Here's Chappell with a couple of elements, a prop and an outfit, right? The makeup. This is all stuff that makes you go, oh, you don't look like you're waiting for a bus. That's an interesting thing there. What is that prop? What was that? Door handle or something? What is that? A syringe? I don't know, but you look and you go, what do we have here, right? And it's most important that this just doesn't look like a normal person. So you go, oh, neat. You probably have something interesting to say. You've kind of thought of some things here. Very cool. So here's what we've got here for the show, right? We have planned shows and we have spontaneous shows. And you can look at that as the foundation is spontaneous of this show. Beyonce's show, let's say, has a planned foundation, right, where it's very choreographed, and then there's spontaneous moments within the planned show. With Chappell here, we have a spontaneous foundation. She's kind of winging it, and then there's some planning as well. You can think about your own performance in whatever medium you're in and go, what are you? Foundationally spontaneous or foundationally planned? You know, where do you find yourself settled the most, in the planning or in the spontaneity? And then you have spikes of the other side. So look at this moment here, right? I'm going to get down on my knees in front of the guitar player. We're going to have a little rock out together here. Now, you've seen this happen before, where the artist is so clearly uncomfortable, like, what are we doing? I don't know. Putting their arm around the guitar player or something, and it looks all forced and stuff. But how you have to pull this off so that it doesn't look that way is like this. You have to be so focused in the external and with that person that it doesn't become judgy and you're not up here going, is this cool? Is this not? What is this about? No, you got to come into the conversational place with the artist that you're doing that with and see each other in the external focus and go, oh yeah, this is awesome. Let's just do this and react to each other and respond to each other, rather than that compulsion to come up here and go, what does it mean? Is this neat? Not when you're up here, no. So you come out to the conversational place with that person. Just see them and just respond and interact. See how easy that is? Just a little scream, right? And everybody goes, yeah, that's right. That's dynamic range, right? That's showing people, and you do that? Oh, you're willing to do that? Like an out-of-pocket scream like that? And she goes, yeah. And everybody goes, love that. That's great. Expanding the dynamic range, taking a risk on the big side of dynamics and screaming something. Always works. So again, we don't fall for this thing, right, where there's an 80-foot screen behind them and we go, well, I can't have that. No, you don't need that. Whatever level you're at, whatever medium you're in, it doesn't matter about the props and the set design, because look at the show they have. A spontaneous foundation, this show, with some planning. But we can ignore all of the external planning, technical things like that and just go, what if it's just about energy and dynamic? She's still carrying this show. It doesn't matter about the props, the set design, the $80,000 budget. So here we have one of two in this video, Chappell interacting with the camera moments. This one, internal, right? So she's back here. She's planned to come up to the camera. Now she's going back here and she's showing the camera this internal focus process that she's got. And the camera isn't really part of it, but she's aware the camera is there because she went up to it and got on her knees to interact with it. So how do you do that and be this comfortable and natural? Well, you can't be in the controlled middle going, the camera's right there, the camera's right there, the camera's right there. You've got to go back deeper than that into the internal, your thoughts and feelings, and go someplace where you can connect to the art, to yourself, whatever you've got to do back there, and not have the conversation with your brain about, is this cool? Oh God, there's a camera looking at me. So you choose your focus and you choose this deep internal process of focusing on the thoughts and the feelings. That's what she's doing right now. And you can disappear into the internal so much that you can forget the audience is there. Very cool tool to recenter and connect. This is an exciting one. Why? $10 in Chinatown for that wig. Put it on a mic stand that's already there. So this is a no to low budget moment here. And it is in the category of my favorite category. The internal theatrical. This isn't for the audience. Look at this. Internal, right? And theatrical. She's playing some character where she's interacting with this wig like it's a lover or something. How fun is that? How much stage presence is involved with this? When stage presence is, be interesting and unpredictable. Look at this. You have to watch because you go, what's she going to do with this thing? This is doable at your show tonight. Right? The exact same thing. It's nothing to do this. It's just guts and energy. Great. See, these are the ideas that you have 20 minutes before sleep when you're in your little bed thinking of stuff and you go, oh, I could do it. Just do it. Yeah, because it just takes guts. That's why you're not doing it. It just takes guts. This is a $10 moment. And look at...
I know it's really hot, so you don't have to do it like a lot, but you can do it with your hands, okay? That's what I do when I'm tired. We're gonna teach you a dance. Lucy, give us a beat.
So there we've got some banter in the way of audience training, and it was very loose and it was very sloppy and she didn't care. And that's what's excellent about that. She didn't care. Right? She went, okay, you want to do it? You don't have to do it. And I guarantee she's not going home and going, oh, I fucked that banter up and that. And, everybody gets it. It's fine. It comes down to the thing that we keep saying, that banter is not important, it's just the confidence behind it, right? And so there you go. She just went, she fucked that up and doesn't care.
Oh, does anyone have the time? Sorry, does anyone have the...
That's the C word. So we have another element of performance here, a prop, right? Again, $5 in Chinatown, a fan. And how could you elevate that prop to be even more interesting and create more stage presence, be unpredictable and interesting? Well, you could write something on it. You could write something controversial on it if you want. And she's done just that. So everybody gets to watch and go, what? And that creates interest, right? And you keep watching because you go, what is that? And you also have this prop benefit of people going like, I'll bring my own fan. She does this fan thing. I'll get fans. She's probably got fan merch, right? And again, just an idea that she had 5 minutes before she fell asleep once and said, I'm going to take a fan on stage. And then it can become sort of part of her identity on stage, right? What can you do like that? What is your version of this? And what could you write on your thing like that that could create some interest? So see, the audience reaction is different from this one, right? Because she's made this decision to be more forward and more external. She's given the mic to the audience and more stuff. She's making more eye contact directly with the audience. She's coming out of the internal a bit more into the external. And she's making it about the audience. And they're ramping up their physical energy because of that. Because they land in the conversational place together now. And they go, oh, I'm part of it, I'm part of it. When you're in the internal, the audience goes, oh, you're disappearing? And the artist goes, yeah. And the audience goes, I will too. I'll get into my emotions and vibe on this thing. But when you come into the external, it becomes conversational and they take direction really well from that place because you're making it obvious that you want to engage. There we go. Look at this. Try this at your show. Get on your knees, put your arms fully extended in the air, and sing something, and see how that feels. I don't care if there's 10 people there, if there's 500 people there. Try that and see what you get, because what you'll get is whatever audience is there will be impressed with the courage that you have exuded, and that's it. They'll see the risk behind taking a chance in front of people on a stage, and they'll respect that and they'll respond, especially arms all the way up, right? Usually the arms are kind of stuck to the ribs like a T-Rex or something because we're afraid of the physicality and the judgment that might come with it. Try it and see what happens. You're going to get an equal response from the audience to the risk that you took. Look at this. You know how we love the audience reaction shots? Look at the blue hat person right here. Pure joy led by the artist. This person in the heat, in the crowd. And if you saw this person at the mall, you would go, you are wonderful and beautiful, aren't you? And they would go, yeah, I'm a beam of fucking light. Let's go. Led by the artist. Led by you. Right? People want out of their shitty fucking feelings, right? They want out of the brain that keeps destroying the energy that they've got, that they've suffocated since childhood because of trauma and damage and death and divorce and everything else, right? Your cat died and you went further into your brain, right? People show up at the foot of an artist's stage and say, can you lead me in an experience to remember that I'm cool, please? And if the artist has guts and they can risk and they can speak the language like Chappell can, then that audience member can get a release and can be reminded in a moment that they're still awesome, that they're still cool. They can uncover the self-expression that has been buried over time. That's the job of the artist, to lead the audience in an experience. That is your job, my friend. 12-second commercial. Have you been watching or listening to the State of the Artist podcast? That's my podcast that's in its 3rd season. It's here and it's on Spotify and all of those places. And it's about artist behavior and psychology. the joy and the struggle and the barriers of this career-chasing weird thing that we're doing, trying to hand people our ideas and emotions and go, can you judge this and give me money for it? State of the Artist podcast. Check it out.
I dedicate this song to my ex. How does it feel to become everything you hated, and I became everything I wanted?
That's cold. Wow, that's cold. That's a vendetta. That's spiteful shit, and why not? How interesting. But something like that, right? Should I talk about my ex? Should I this? Should I that? Can I say this? Should I? And I hear that all the time, by the way. People going, can you say that? You could say whatever, right? Performance is a construct. None of it is right or wrong. You can say whatever. But if you can contend with your heart and your mind and go, you know what? I am going to out my ex here and be destructively spiteful. Do it. That risk will be responded to by the audience equal to the level of risk that it was. So that whole audience is going like, oh, that's awesome. Fuck my ex too, right? And that's leadership. Okay, remember we've got the spontaneous foundation of this show, and then we have planned little spikes. That's kind of how it works here. Here's one of those. Look at, they planned this. We're going to get down together. A little tiny bit of planning. We're just going to vibe here. What does it do? It just creates some interest. Planning is an excuse to be intentional about what you show people, right? You can rely on spontaneity completely, but you are going to be hoping that something happens. But if you have a particular thing that you want to get across, your sadness, your rebellion, your anger, whatever, you can plan that in, so you can make sure it happens, and you can make sure it happens in the way that you want to present it, so that the audience goes, I get it. And that's the point of planning. Yeah, we love that. This person has sung extremely well for 45 minutes, for an hour and a half, something like. Right? So if she goes, hey, I'm going to scream something and kind of lose command of it and go into the dynamic range where it actually kind of train wrecks the voice. What doesn't happen is the audience doesn't go, oh, I thought she was a credible singer, but now it's clear that she can't sing at all. No, she's already proven herself. So how fun is it to explore something that is impossible, or that train wrecks, or that goes into some dynamic place that is all of a sudden bad? That's amazing. That earns trust. That makes the audience go, you have the confidence to do that? To be bad? To be out of control is a better, unpolished is a better word? And she goes, yeah. And it builds trust because the audience goes, and you do that? And that's what we want the audience doing, right? And you do that? And you do that? Compile enough of those and you will have earned trust, and your 3%, and that's what we're looking for. We're not looking for everybody. Your 3% will come to the foot of that stage because they keep earning trust. That audience member got me. Look at look at the pink hair. Oh, that got me. This is the spiritual experience we're talking about. Something so good that hits so perfectly that it makes somebody go into the spiritual place. People do this with religion. Something grabs them and they feel so connected to it that it becomes incredibly real and important. And art does that, but without an agenda, without a divine destination, let's say. It's just emotional leadership. And you have a song as cool as Pink Pony Club. And it does this to people. Look at this. That's the same. as the Christians and the Muslims and everybody with their hands in the sky, right? Trying to connect there. That's the same. It's the same posture. Look at that. Led by an artist, led by you, led by someone on earth using the tools of the planet, music in this case, to reach the cosmos and lead people in this experience. Fuck. That's what we want. As artists, we want to experience energy like this. You know, we want to get on a stage, whatever our stage is in whatever medium it is, and lose it like that. Create something that allows us to lean in so hard that we can expressively lose it like that. And then just be in the flow of the spirit, whatever your spirit is. That's what just happened. Look at the freedom right now for everybody. Look at Chappell. Is this planned? No way. This is a spontaneous show. This is Chappell losing it so hard that her body has decided to do interesting, complex shit that she didn't plan at all. That's so great. That's what happens when you're the audience of something that touches you like this. You start to take risks that are spontaneous and unplanned and accidental, because your brain shuts off and the spirit takes you, and you start doing whatever. You start moving in the spirit. Source energy takes you and you don't even remember what you did. Right? That's what she's trying to achieve for everybody here, and she has to do that by achieving it herself. This is a perfect example of when everything connects. The music, the importance of the song, the importance of the artist in the moment, the artist's own internal process to share and to lead, and the audience's commitment to letting go. All connects, and we get the same spiritual experience that someone gets in a church, with no divine destination, no spiritual agenda that has to do anything with getting somewhere, repenting, all of these things that are required. No. An emotional experience led by an artist. To summarize, Chap, this is not different than what you're doing, right? To hit that spiritual connection in Pink Pony Club and have everybody lose it, that's not different than what you're doing. You're doing it on a much smaller scale at the moment, but it's not different. You're still the leader of an audience. You're still someone who got on the square space that they built and elevated on the planet for people to share in the language of art, something to be an emotional leader. And the people that come to the foot of the stage go, what do you got for me? And then it's your job to say, I'll show you. And then lead them in an experience. It's the same exact job. This is just scaled way up, but who cares? So your next performance is this performance, just without 80,000 people. So what? Same thing. This was masterful. The band is crazy. What a good band. Such a good band that you forget that anything is even happening with the band. That's how good. You don't hear any mistakes, so you're not pulled out. Same as a vocalist, Chappell. Like the treadmill minutes counted, right? You can see that preparation counted because she's maxing out her physicality and staying so on top of the vocal that you never even questioned the vocal. So that is skill on the technical side at a profoundly good level, right? And then that allows for expression. And that's how we got to Pink Pony Club like that. Everyone was so skilled and so good that they presented it in a way that you could let go and put a blanket over the skill involved and move to expression, move to source energy. That's why you've got people with their hands in the sky in the religious posture, but without the religion. Unbelievably interesting to watch an artist who is at the top of the world at the moment do the thing and go, why? Why are you so popular at the moment? Well, partially because of this access to skill and energy. And some luck too, don't forget that. These people are lucky. So what, 10 years, yes. Skilled, yes. Talented, yes. Worked hard, yes. Still lucky, okay? Still lucky. It's important to say, still lucky, but unbelievably cool. What a great artist.